So today I am going to talk about the applications of context-free grammar in natural language processing. So first question in our mind, that what is the natural language processing? It's actually the capability of a computer to analyze a natural language. So what is the natural language? Natural language, this is any language that we can talk, example English, or any language we can say. So it is the gives the capability to the computer to analyze the language. So that is called natural language processing. So now here we need to know that what is a context-free grammar. So before moving on to the context-free grammar, let's talk about this diagram. Here we can see first we give the input to the NLP software. Then it goes to the parsing. Parsing actually means making a sentence, meaning of the sentence, find what actually the sentence means. So we will talk it details in later. And then it goes the set of rules. Set of rules means the based on which rule we can make a composite sentence in any language. And then it goes to the right hand side and left hand side. This is actually a production rule where the left hand side has a non-terminal, only a single non-terminal symbol, and right hand side have multiple terminal or non-terminal symbol. And with this both right hand side and left hand side we make a context-free grammar. So now move on to the context-free grammar. What is it and what is the parsing also? Now before moving on to the context-free grammar, I want to tell that what is the application of a context-free grammar in NLP. So basically context-free grammar helps us to define a syntax tree and a parsing table for a program or a natural language. So now let's talk about what is syntax. Syntax is a rule based on which we can make sentence. Suppose example we can talk that English is a language where the basic rule for making sentence, first comes subject, then verb, then object. For every language they have different rules. Now let's talk about what is the grammar. Grammar is the rule based on which we can make a composite sentence. So based on this grammar we actually make a sentence of any language. We can take any language, every language have their different grammars. Now comes the parsing. Parsing refers to the process of analyzing the utterance in terms of its syntactic structure. Means when we are talking about any sentence structure, structure means what is based on which part it is made. Then we have to take the parsing concept comes where we have to break the sentence in parts. Suppose in an English sentence we have noun phrase, verb phrase, or any other phrase. In this way the parsing concept comes. So in next part we have to also talk about the constituents by which which is the important concept for the context-free grammar. Now let's talk about what is constituents. Constituents, a group of words which acts as a single word. For example, we can take that their book, my house. These two words, their book or my house, it's working as a single sentence. So this is a constituents. Now let's talk about what is actually context-free grammar, how it is made, and what is the application of it in natural language processing. Context-free grammar basically allows or define a set of rules by which we can break a sentence into smaller parts, means smaller constituents up to the words. And basically it's defined by four variables. First is start symbol, which is defined by S. Then we have T, which is the terminal symbol, and then V, which is non-terminal symbol. And then comes the production rule by which the grammar is defined. Another important concept for the context-free grammar is that the context-free grammar helps us to generate all the strings of a given formal language. For example, if we are taking any particular language, suppose English, there we can in the context-free grammar, with the help of context-free grammar, we can make any possible string in the English sentence, which is a huge advantage for us. So now let's take an example of how we can define means how we can make a sentence using our context-free grammar. So here we can see a sentence which is I prefer morning flight. there are many parts of speech, there are many noun, object, verbs in the sentence. So how we can make a context tree using the context tree grammar, how we can derive it, let us see. So first it starts symbol is, which itself this, which starts this, which is the starting symbol. Then we have noun phrase and verb phrase, which divides the sentence into two parts. Basically in English there are two phrases, noun and verb phrases in the sentence. So now we can see that from S we can derive noun phrase and verb phrase. Then the noun phrase has its one part which is pronoun, and then from pronoun and verb phrase. That means the noun phrase derives the pronoun part, and the pronoun part derives I, which is the first word of the sentence. Then we can break the verb into two parts, which is verb and the noun phrase. The verb phrase contains both noun and noun phrase, so we can break it in two parts. Then it comes then in the sentence we can see the verb is prefer, so we can replace the verb with prefer. Then the noun phrase divided in two parts, which is norm and determinant. Determinant basically the preposition or the any other preposition that we use in a sentence. So here in this case we have prepositions a, so we replace the determinant with a. Then norm is divided into two parts, which is noun, norm and noun. So basically norm is a combination of nouns. So here we can divide it in two parts, because in the end of the sentence there are two more nouns, and then we take out the norm into noun, and then we can convert this both nouns by morning and flight, because this morning and flight both are also noun. So in this case morning and flights are replaced by noun as they are noun, and with the help of these production rules we can easily make a sentence from the context free grammar. So in analyzing a natural language processing or defining a set of rules in natural language processing, context free grammar plays an important role. So let's talk about the parsing table of that particular sentence, which is I prefer a morning flight. So parsing tree or parsing table is basically dividing a sentence into different parts. So first is a start symbol, then we divide it in two parts, noun phrase and verb phrase. Then from the noun phrase we derive the pronoun, and that is I, which is the first word of sentence. Then we divided the verb phrase into two parts, verb and noun phrase, and here is verb is prefer. Then we have noun, which is a determinant and a norm. The determinant here is a, and norm is divided into two nouns, which is morning and flight. So from the picture we can see that using the parsing tree and using the production rules, we can very easily make a sentence. So analyzing of the sentences become very easy, and for this case context grammar is very much useful, and this application is also very useful to analyze any word or any sentence in a natural language using the parsing table or parsing tree. Now let's take another example so we can clear our doubts. For example, here I have taken the sentence John hit the ball. So first, to make the context free grammar using the context free grammar rule, we can make this sentence also. First let us take the start symbol. Then as usual the sentence has two parts, which is verb phrase and noun phrase, so we take it. Then the verb phrase has the one noun, which is John, which is the first word of sentence, so the noun phrase contains this noun and we have replaced it. Then the verb phrase has two parts, which is verb and noun phrase as usual, and then we have replaced the verb with hit, which is a verb itself, so with you replace it. Then the noun phrase has two parts, which is determinant and another part is noun itself. So here determinant is the preposition, so we replace the determinant with hit, the ball, and then the noun we have replaced is by the ball. So in this case we can take any example. I have taken these two example. So with this example we can understand that using the context free grammar we can make any sentence, or using the context free grammar production rule we can make any sentence of our choice. So now So we can take another example for parsing tree of the same sentence, John hit the ball. So first we have divided the first we have to take the start symbol, then we have divided into two parts, that is noun phrase and verb phrase. Noun phrase is noun John, and then we have divided the verb into two phrase, which is in two parts, which is verb and noun phrase. The verb phrase has the hit, we have replaced the verb phrase with hit, and then we have noun phrase which has a determinant and a noun. So we have replaced the determinant with the and replace the noun with the ball. So in this way we can very easily make the table parsing tree of any grammar or any parsing tree of any grammar or of any sentence of any natural language. So it's very important concept, and these two applications are very useful. These two application of context grammar is very useful in natural language processing. Thank you.